with MicroAcquire. Since you're non-transactional right now, I wanted to touch on the subscription model that you use for revenue right now, and then maybe, learn a little bit more about how you're thinking about adding value, to both sides through your marketplace in the future.
Yeah. So right now, the only business model we have, which is kind of funny how I thought about it, we charge buyers a small annual subscription to contact sellers. So you can think of MicroAcquire as a music car reference. I'm terrible. My team tells me all the time I'm terrible with analogies, but it's kind of like a Ferrari dealership. You can go in, you can look at the cars, but you don't know who the owner is. If you have questions about like the mileage or, how's the engine been maintained, you have to pay for that access. So you can come in, you can look around, you can window shop all you want, but to actually contact a founder, you have to pay for that. And that was actually feedback from a user. So going back to always talking to customers, we had founders that were receiving like 100+ requests. And so to help, separate, serious buyers from the term is tire kickers in the industry, which is just people that are completely not serious. They're just kind of looking around. Put that in place. And the response has been phenomenal. And moving forward, we want to get closer to being actively in the transaction. So we've since hired, which is a big change for MicroAcquire. So we've hired an in-house business broker and M&A advisor. We're working on hiring in-house legal counsel. Might have announcements around those pretty soon, maybe today. Not like today, but I might get like the thumbs up from the attorney we're looking to potentially bring on board. And from there, our model is we're building out an M&A directory. So we want to consolidate this fragmented market. Right now in the market today, you have maybe 2 or 3 brokers. Their main value proposition is typically, we take care of everything and we can help you sell your business for more. There's no data behind that proves either of those, aside from the fact that they'll do anything. And so we want to bring trust, transparency, and data to these, acquisitions where we can show where, what sort of extra EV does a certain broker bring. EV stands for extra value, because that's literally the main pitch of a broker is like, we can sell for more. And typically that's not true. I have a plethora of examples where a startup listed on MicroAcquire, worked with a broker first, got like half in terms of like valuation from a broker, sold for twice that on MicroAcquire. Because brokers, their incentive is to sell the deal as quickly as possible. And so they're going to price it down to a point where it will sell as quickly as possible, almost to the point of a fire sale. And so we're building MicroAcquire with founders in mind. So we want founders to get the highest, acquisition price for their business. We want to give them all the resources and tools that they need to transact depending on the size of their business, whether it's 100K a year in revenue all the way up to 10 or even 50 million is kind of our goal. And so to do that, we're building a directory full of the best M&A advisors, the best business brokers, the best accountants, the best due diligence experts, even thinking about things like wealth management if you're successful in selling your business. So you'd be able to hire these individuals at a lower rate than typical brokers. So typical brokers today will charge up to 15% of a deal, which is like a seed round. It's absolutely ridiculous. So we think we can get that down by bringing, just making the acquisition process more efficient. Instead of going live in 3 months with a broker, we can get you live in a day. And then from there, you can work with someone in our directory to help you with negotiations, improving your profile. Maybe you have a messy P&L you need some help with, so you need some accounting help. All the things I wish I had when I sold business apps, because when I sold business apps, I didn't use an investment bank. I had a friend that was an investment banker, and he just gave me some light advice. Like, hey, I always say, like, he told me stuff like, just go to bed. Like, just, don't send that email. Like, just sleep on it. Or that's a normal due diligence request. Because the startup landscape is full of information about how to raise a bunch of money, how to, hire a bunch of people, like everything except for probably the most important part of the founder's journey, in my opinion, which is the exit. I built business apps specifically as an asset to sell. I'd raised $100,000 for that business. So I had a fiduciary duty to show a return to those investors. I could have cash flowed the business, but we got a great offer and it worked out well. But yeah, so that's the thought, is where you'll be able to hire these professionals, people from, Goldman Sachs, like Morgan Stanley, like real investment bankers, very experienced M&A advisors. And then we're going to bring transparency and trust to those people. Because when I worked with my M&A advisor, investment banker friend, he was just the only person I knew. Like, I don't know. And then the law firm, also we're going to have M&A legal counsel in the directory as well. And the way I started working in that law firm was a reference as well. Like, just use them. I was like, okay. So we're going to have reviews and ratings, and, you can get really specific, like for business apps, as an example, being a no code app builder selling to SMBs. I would have loved to hire someone that maybe had recently done a transaction with GoDaddy or something like that. Reviews from entrepreneurs. What deals have they closed? What is their pricing model? Is it hourly? Is it flat rate? Giving entrepreneurs like all the, basically like reshifting the power back to founders and startups and not buyers. So MicroAcquire is not, do not go to MicroAcquire if you're looking for super cheap deals and they've been, crushed down to the point where, like the valuation tool is profit times 4 or whatever. We're looking to build a place for entrepreneurs to have real life-changing acquisitions and all the tools they need to accomplish that. So we're building MicroAcquire for founders, not buyers. That's a very big distinction. And we feel the other players in the market focus on buyers more than sellers. And so we're flipping the script. And that's why MicroAcquire has been essentially free and will always be free. So moving on to, how are we going to make, like, we just raised a bunch of venture capital. So we probably got to, we're not going to get there 290 a year at a time from the buyer subscriptions. So our plan from here is we're going to be basically taking commission from broker commissions. So if we have a broker that works with a business that comes on a MicroAcquire, and they charge a 5, 6, 7% commission, we're going to take a commission or referral fee off of their commission. And so eventually we want to build MicroAcquire to a point where brokers come to MicroAcquire to list their deals. Because at its core, MicroAcquire right now is kind of the largest database of software buyers in the world. Everyone from corporate dev teams to CEOs of public companies, second-time entrepreneurs, like every private equity group you could possibly imagine. So again, another really long-winded answer, Mike. Sorry about that. Please cut me off if I'm going off the rails and answering questions in advance, but I hope that's helpful.